Yeah. Anyway, all right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RepTheWarriors.com. My name is Eddie Law. That's Jesse Rubalcaba. Fred Kirby will be joining us very soon. Not okay. Would you say there's not a whole lot happening in MMA like news this week? Like
Well,
the most what?
there are stories out there, but
Yeah.
it depends how clickbaity you want to be, right? Like, I mean, we could be talking about Conor and all the details that he divulged about, Ali and,
Let's,
um,
let's talk about that. Fuck it. Because hey, look, man, there's nothing that we're being even TMZ-ish. At this point, that shit's blowing up. So if everyone caught the end of that fucking presser, right? Conor started yelling out about, I was supposed to say Khabib, about Ali being like, being a terrorist and shit. Asking about his son that he doesn't pay child support for. Noah. By the way, shout out to the look. Everyone's like, oh, fucking Conor came out winning in this presser, and no, Khabib did because he didn't like bite on the shit talk games. No, motherfuckers. Biggest winner of the night is my homie Mike Russell at Mike Russell MMA. Shout out, follow this motherfucker. He's been talking about Ali doing all this crazy shit for such a long time, and he finally gets vindication because Conor McGregor fucking basically shouted it out on at the presser, right? Then everyone started Googling and everyone started finding shit. Even Brendan Schaub. Now, I don't know if you heard the Brendan Schaub thing. I didn't. I was
nope.
supposed to, and I just didn't want to. But I hope he wasn't taking credit for all that shit. But he
I
got a
bet you he
shitload of.
was.
I bet he was. But like he was taking he got a shitload of views on some video where he was talking about that, about Ali, the terrorist thing, and the child support thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Oh, and we all knew. But Mike Russell's
Of
the one that's been
course.
yelling, talking about it. He's been getting shit from everybody for it. I mean,
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
Go look at his timeline and look at that back and forth I was telling you about before the show
Yeah.
with Kayla Harrison's boyfriend trying to white knight for Ali. Look, um, I think we can all agree that everybody that's under Ali's banner as a fighter probably has good things to say about Ali because he pays them, he gets them paid, he gets them to where they want to go. He's got those connections. All right, that's perfectly fine. But the shady business that he has in his past, the shady business that he was doing with World Series of Fighting, the shadiness of him not, paying child support and all that stuff. There's so many things that make him a bad guy. His who was it? I think Kareem Zidane. I think it's the other guy that's working with Mike Russell on that
Yeah.
podcast. If you guys don't know, Mike Russell, I think either next week or in the next couple of weeks is having a podcast released where he's gonna do basically like a whole breakdown of the whole timeline of Ali's, you know, life basically. So check out for that. That should be interesting. But what is it? Kareem Zidane, I think is his name. His
I
running
think you're
partner.
right. I'll find it right now.
He was on the MMA Hour and he was talking about a lot of the other stuff. Um, that just it makes him such a shady guy. And he pointed out something that was really interesting. The only fighters that are under what's that dictator from the Chechnyan dictator?
Yeah, no,
The only fighters that are in the U.S. that are managed here are by Ali. He's the only one.
mm-hmm.
Nobody else manages those guys. So he's the only guy that's willing to take money from a dictator, dirty money, and run with it. So I mean, that just speaks volumes to the person that he is.
No, absolutely. You're right. It is Kareem Zidane, and his Twitter is at Zidane Zidan Sports, and he's definitely a good follow. As is Mike Russell MMA. Definitely check that one out. Yeah, but dude, he's been saying this shit forever, right?
Yeah,
And we're seeing all the I guess clients or friends or whatever allies, whatever, coming out trying to defend him, including Harrison's boyfriend, including who else is doing this shit?
well,
Fucking,
how can
I
we be
mean,
sure that it's these actual people and not Ali on their
burner
account?
accounts. That's what I was gonna say. Burner accounts. I've dealt with what I suspected was an Ali burner account once. Because I said something about Frankie Edgar's manager's a sleaze bag after I read what Mike Russell said, and he was just like some random Twitter account started going at me hard. Fuck you, you know this and this and that. I'm like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, you have like 3 followers. You're an egg. What is your deal? You know what I mean? And then like I can, after a while, other people were saying the same shit, and I was like, oh, it's a burner account, Ali. And remember, like, Ali has like control of like some of his clients' Twitter accounts, including Frankie Edgar. You ever catch that one where he fucked up and tweeted from Frankie Edgar's account? So Ali's watching everything everyone's saying. This dude cares so much about what people say about him. But with his past, I mean, shit, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we've talked about it before. The only reason, Verdum and a bunch of other fighters are going to this Chechen dictator, what is it, Ramzan Kadyrov or something like that, Kadyrov, is because of Ali's connections with that, and these guys are taking money from this dude when they should, kind of have a very, very big distance between them and that, and the whole thing that Kareem Zidane was talking about on the MMA Hour is that this is a lot of these fighters are mixing in with political figures, not knowing, the kind of repercussions that it could cause to them, to their career, to them personally, just because of being associated with certain people, and that we are stepping into territory that we really probably shouldn't be stepping into, seeing as how like Conor McGregor is trying to go after, Nurmagomedov, and then he's posing pictures with Putin and stuff like that. Like this could get really serious and really ugly, it real quick. The whole political thing just can get really nasty. It
is pretty. Yeah, it can get really crazy real fast. There was an and I didn't read it because I honestly I looked for it and I couldn't find it. But there was supposedly someone put out an article. I don't know, it was Bloody Elbow, somebody put out an article about Conor's political affiliations, right? And how he, Conor's giving Khabib shit for all the stuff all the connections he has. Apparently, Conor's got some shady shit in his background. So, but apparently he didn't. He's not worried about that. So, fuck.
Right. Anyway. Look, I recommend anybody that hasn't heard it, the MMA Hour with Luke Thomas, the interview with Kareem Zidane, because he really breaks it all down and really talks about some really interesting things, and kind of clarifies some of the things that Conor was talking about. He corrects some of the things that he, is probably a little bit misinformed and the way he used it. So, I mean, it's really, really good interview to listen to. But like you said, Mike Russell and Kareem are both good follows on Twitter just to watch all the work that they've done already. I mean, I think Mike Russell put a picture out of his notes about this whole Ali story, and it is a thick notebook of stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Whatever's in the darkness comes to light sooner or later, Ali. So you fucked up, brother. All right. A couple of the comments in the YouTube in the comment section. Given surname says, "How's Noah?" Yeah, exactly. Joey Tremendous says, "Ali's such a piece of shit. Noah has a good stepdad though, so Ali can go eat shit." Damn, Joey feeling the hate. And Hadley Loomis says, "I like that hat. Fire. Appreciate it. RepTheWarriors.com. Get yourself one." Anyway, so as far as that story goes, again, just like Jesse said, Kareem Zidane and Mike Russell, the places to go. I didn't hear the Brendan Schaub video yet. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to see it because I'm gonna get pissed off if he took credit for it, right? But yeah, I don't know, whatever.
When has that guy ever given anybody else credit? Come on, Never. He doesn't give anybody credit.
No, usually he goes, "I disagree. Shut the fuck up. Anyway,
or look into it. Right now, his new term is look into it.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo gave him that one. All right. A couple things here. I don't know if you heard yesterday. A couple stories came out of fighters getting basically in trouble or getting charged with sexual assault. One of them was Victor Ortiz, a boxer. The other one, UFC welterweight Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He's been indicted on sexual assault charges from an incident that happened, I believe it was in May. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he said March or May, something like that.
Yeah. He was arrested in April, released on $20,000 bond. I'm getting this information from MMAfighting.com. So you guys want to get some of that information, it's on there. So yeah, he's released on $20,000 bond. A judge allowed him to remove the GPS monitor to train and fight at UFC 228 in Dallas.
Right.
It won by knockout pretty fucking fast. Let's see. Here we go. So Per the Star Telegram, citing the arrest affidavit, Al Hassan was working as a head of security at the Varsity Tavern Bar in Fort Worth in March when he met two women, ages 22 and 20. Allegedly, 20-year-old can get into the tavern bar. You guys are surprised. It says he allegedly let younger women into the bar, though she was underage, in exchange for the older women's phone number. Then he drove. He's accused of driving them both home, drunk, back to the 20-year-old's home and forcibly raping both of them. So,
Jesus fucking Christ! What podcast did I walk into, boys? What the fuck are we talking about?
Abdul Razak Hassan. Have you heard the story?
No.
He's at UFC welterweight. Just knocked out Nico Price at 228.
Oh yeah. Okay. I did hear something about this. I didn't hear this whole story, but I seen the headline on Twitter. He raped some broads.
Two of them, allegedly, obviously. He hasn't been convicted, but yeah, two of them, and on the same night, and now he's been charged with sexual assault. So, or indicted, whatever. So I want Jesse, if you were the UFC and you knew about this shit because this happened a while ago. Would you let him fight?
No, but we have this problem also in the NFL, right? NFL, basketball. I mean, pretty much any sport you could have athletes in that are, you know, big, strong, muscular dudes that have are able to attract the opposite sex. You always have these stories, these problems. So it doesn't surprise me that they would just allow him to fight without really investigating it. So now it's going to bite him, you know, in the ass, obviously, because they obviously knew about it and they should have done something back then.
Has he been charged in the court of law?
He's been indicted. Yeah, he's charged with sexual assault. Okay,
but like charged or accused of?
No, charged.
Okay, so like
let me pull up so we
can data.
Right, so
he admitted it or
no. So he hasn't been convicted or anything.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
My bad. Okay, so he hasn't been convicted. So
right.
But the point I'm making is I think that's the UFC stance. It's like, listen, until the law says that this happened, we can't just start punishing people because it looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably a bullshit stance to take, but it's got enough credibility that they probably can hide behind it. Like, hey, listen, if he did it, the court will figure it out and he'll go to jail or whatever. And at that point, we'll go along with whatever, you know, they say. But up until then, we don't know that it's not bullshit.
True.
So,
but okay, I think they already set up a precedent, which could have been, if they had applied that to this instance, would have saved their ass. Remember when Travis Brown's ex-wife put up those pictures and put out that whole thing about, you know, him beating her and all that stuff? What did the UFC do? They pulled him off the card, investigated, quote unquote, and then later we're like, yeah, like we investigated. It didn't seem like, you know, he was doing anything wrong. Nothing bad happened. So he's back on the roster. He's back to fighting. If they had done that, I think that would be a better look than what it is now, which is he got out, they let him fight, and now he's being indicted, and now it's looking pretty bad for this dude.
I kind of disagree with you, though, man. I feel like they should keep that's a criminal offense, dog. That ain't got nothing to do with them. You let me know when the motherfuckers got, what the fuck did John Jones get caught taking? Tyranobol?
Yeah.
If I'm DW, you call me when that happens. If I got a fighter that rapes some broads, that's on y'all. Put that motherfucker in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, go find him. Put him in bracelets. Like, that's a police issue. Like, if dude murders somebody, clearly we should take him off the card, but that's bigger fish at this point. Like, that's on y'all. Like, that's at this point, if it's a rape, we don't need to be worried about the UFC enforcing nothing. The UFC ain't got shit to enforce. Like, he about to go to jail.
Yeah, no, right.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Everybody send angry tweets over to Kirby _MMA. Kirby _MMA.
Yeah, go ahead. Get my fucking dick hard.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I get what you're saying. I'm not surprised the UFC let him fight because they let Greg Hardy fucking fight. So, although he wasn't charged with anything, he was, you know, his accuser refused to work with the cops.
That's the veil. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? They're going to hide behind, look, if they did it and the police fucking prosecute them, then we stand behind the law. Yeah. But until then, it's all fucking hearsay, Jack, for us.
Doesn't help that he's one of the most exciting, more exciting new welterweights.
Right. And let's keep that a band too. It don't hurt that the dude's exciting and probably guys, but that probably helps them be like, well, you know, let's just see what happens here. If he was a lay and pray wannabe John Fitch, it might be a little easier to send that motherfucker off the Bellator. That's a fact. But
good point.
They hold them. They're going to hold that little gate. Like, hey, we don't know. The police will let you know if he really did it. Then that's the because I've heard DW say shit like this before. Kind of when the law gets involved, he's like, look, dog, we ain't the police. Like, if somebody does something like that, that the police will get them, and when they get that worked out, then we'll decide what we're going to impose on them afterwards.
Raider says in the comments, she says that we have a guy throwing a dolly at a bus full of their own employees / contractors and did nothing. So that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I agree with you guys.
Not a guy, the guy.
Okay,
to be fair,
the guy.
a billion dollar entity. I mean, listen, if that was fucking
Ray Borg.
There you go. If that was Ray Borg, he is in Bellator for sure right now. I mean, make no mistake about it. Life is not fair, and neither is the UFC. Like shit ain't fair. That's for sure.
I like how I still enjoy how we talk about Bellator like they're like the G League of the UFC. It's still funny to me because people are still like, "Oh, Bellator's catching up to UFC," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Girl, please.
Bellator in what market?
Yeah, I mean, not in reality. They're cute, but like catching up to the UFC. Get the
in the market of people that want that to be reality. In their own
in the market of the people that used to watch WCW. Let's keep it a buck. Like in the heyday. Yeah, listen, Eddie. I know you're one of those characters, and that's why you got an affinity for Bellator. Bellator's WCW. Too fucking honest.
I can't. I know. I'm not a Bellator fan at all, man. I can't stand it. No, but guess who this guy's Hassan's manager is there, Jesse?
Oh, I already know.
Yeah.
Fred, want to take a guess, Fred?
Yeah.
What's the little prick's name? Fucking Ali Abdul, whatever the fuck.
Ali Abdulaziz, my friend. We just talking about a bit ago. We were talking about all the stuff that Conor brought up at the press conference and how Mike Russell has been talking about that for years, and he's just now getting his due. You know what I mean? Because Conor shouted it out.
Did I miss that? Did y'all talk about the press conference yet?
No, we haven't really gotten into it yet. We were just talking about just that part of it. We can get into it in a minute. I just want to get through the Hassan stuff. And again, boxer Victor Ortiz is supposed to fight in like a few days in California, and now that fight's obviously in jeopardy because he's been charged with sexual assault as well. Different sport, I know, but still, like saying similar circumstances. All right. Let's talk about the press conference, man. UFC 229 presser went down in New York, even though the fucking card's in Vegas. I don't understand the fucking point.
Well, how do you not have it in New York when the whole Dolly incident happened in New York? That is the epicenter of that whole incident. That is exactly where I would say, and let me put on my tinfoil hat here. If Conor got off easy, don't you think that New York would have been like, hey, if you're gonna do something, do it here so we can get the revenue, we can get the money, we can. Yeah, it should be, and we can talk about this upcoming fight in New York that's not having a great main event, but I think.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Okay, I think I know who that fucking main event's going to be now.
Yeah. I've heard the rumors. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good one. But honestly, again, for me, my thought was that Conor had some very, very great moments of being a true, just the perfect fighter, of balancing between, making Khabib react, making the reporters react, and then giving honest assessments of, the fight. There was a couple questions that you could tell, like, his demeanor completely changed, and he honestly answered those questions. That, to me, was the best part of everything. Now, to you guys, what was the best part of the press conference for you guys?
You go ahead, Fred.
Jesus, I loved it. Where do I start? I'm all for this kind of shit.
Give me your highlight. Like your best highlight.
There was a bunch. Him pouring the whiskey shots was brilliant.
That was That was great.
And whipping the little bottle of whiskey out, like, just in case they fucking didn't let me bring my big one, I had a little one in my pocket. Like, of course you did, Conor. That's brilliant. Okay. So, truthfully, though, one of the more impressive parts of the press conference to me was when Conor started mentioning Kadyrov. Yes. Is that the dude that used to back Khabib financially, and he ended up getting in some hot water politically?
It was Magomed.
Right.
Okay, we talking real quick. Are we talking about the dictator?
No. We're talking about Magomed, this guy that if you go back to that Kareem Zidane on the MMA Hour, he talked about it. This guy Magomed was a financial backer. I think he said he's one of the only Dagestanian people to actually be able to be an oligarch over there in Russia, basically. Like one of the top end guys, has a lot of money, created like a fighting or a wrestling club or something like that. Basically, he's the one that has given money to pay for operations for Khabib. He bought him a car. He's done a lot of things for him, and apparently he fell on some hard times with the government, and they arrested him on some kind of perjury or like some kind of charges.
Okay, now I get what you're saying. Now I had to see his face. Okay, I get what you're saying.
And now of course Khabib has basically not really done anything except for when he won the title, asking what was it, Jesus, the Russian, Putin, to release his buddy, and that's about it. But I mean, what else could he do, honestly? But what you're saying, Fred, is great.
That part's impressive because it means that Conor did some serious fucking homework and research to kind of correlate it to something that we was talking about before that has nothing to do with MMA. It reminds me a lot of the Eminem diss track about MGK. Not in that it's similar to Conor, but Conor did what Eminem should have done. Conor dug. He got secrets. He brought shit to that press conference that I didn't know. Yeah, he did his research, like big time, like big style research. Like he was naming shit that had nothing to do with anything that I'd ever heard of. But it completely changed my point of view on Khabib. Like now, real shit. Now I kind of think Khabib's a little bit of a snake, or just maybe like a little sneaky, illegal fucking Russian goddamn what's it called? The Putin used to be in the KGB or whatever the fuck. It's all murky now. You know what I mean? Like I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Conor threw some serious shade at Khabib. You know what I mean? Like that actually kind of made me think a little bit afterwards. Like, whoa, shit, that was some raw shit that Conor was saying about Khabib. He's fucking, and another good line was the when the homeboy was like Assalam, whatever the fuck, to Khabib, and then he congratulated Conor on the whiskey, and Khabib got on cunty like, no, you can't congratulate this and then whiskey. And then Conor's like, or what? What are you gonna do? Like, what the hell? Do whatever he wants. What the fuck? And then he like mimicked it himself and shit, like la salam blah. You could tell Khabib was like fucking like, okay, motherfucker, like, god damn it. You had to do something. You got to disrespect my religion. Like, you got to keep going until you find something that actually rubs me the wrong fucking way. Like, you fucking with my religion. Like, Khabib's not an easy guy to get under his skin, and Conor still found a way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, Khabib felt like he played it pretty cool, but there were definitely things that Conor said that Khabib, you could tell, got a reaction out of him at the very least.
Right, and I don't know, it could be he's a little hard to read, but when your manager, what's his name, Javier Mendez, his coach came out and said Khabib wasn't affected at all by the shit talk. You were affected by the shit talk.
Yeah, well, and listen, when you got his manager fucking flipping his shit in the front row, clearly all of y'all are wired up right now. Like, they had to escort you out, bro. That's how fired up.
Dana was like, "Get out of here, Ali. Get out of here."
And yo, can we talk about that for a minute? Now, look, I know I'm in the minority. Okay, I know everybody thinks I'm a Conor nut hugger and shit, but They are his belts, you fucking idiots. Like, this idea that, like, oh my God, what are they? What are they? Do y'all really look at Khabib? Keep it a buck, y'all. Keep it a buck. Does anybody really think Khabib is the real champion for beating Ally and Quinta? Can we all fucking just keep it a fucking band right now? Like, that's not a real champion either. I like fucking Khabib, but beating Ally and Quinta, who wasn't even fucking top 5, is that really who we're all saying is the real champ? Y'all better go find Tony Ferguson somewhere. Who'd he beat to get his fake belt? I mean, Kevin Lee, another bird of shit, low key. Like, if we're talking like Conor's the champ, guys, like, let's keep it a fucking buck here. Like, this idea that we're all just going to lose our shit because they refer to him as the champion. He hasn't been beaten yet, guys. He is low key. He beat the real champ. Eddie Alvarez was the last king at 55. Conor knocked him the fuck out. Kevin Lee and Ally Quinta should be fighting each other for the number 6 spot in the division. Like, neither one of them should crown you a champion. So I've seen this thing, like, everybody was like, oh my God, they're giving Conor. Like, even Ariel Helwani was making a big deal about, like, well, you know, when you got the president of the company giving this guy his 2 belts and blah, blah, blah. Like,
well, first of all, just to clear that up, Conor McGregor brought his own belts. He brought his own belts.
His fucking belt.
Yeah. So he brought his own belts. So those are his belts, straight up.
Now, 45, I kind of get.
Yeah.
45 has a real champion. Max Holloway is the real.
Conor's been out for a minute.
So we can have that conversation. I'm willing to give you that one. He should probably give that featherweight, you know, that featherweight belt away. Like, that is water under the bridge, and Max is a real champion there. But goddamn it, Conor's the champ at 55. Like, let's not get fucking carried away.
Real quick, Jason, let me catch up on the YouTube comments here. Jeremiah from the Hardcore MMA Show, what up, dude? Says, hey. What up, you Mountain Dew drinking, Dorito eating keyboard warriors? I can't eat or drink any of that shit, so go fuck yourself, Jeremiah. And Joey Tremendous says, Khabib was fine, he wasn't bothered. Watch that video again, bro. And then Raider says, I feel like
at the end.
Right, but here's Raider making a good point. She says, I feel like it's almost a vacant belt because Conor jumped over everyone in the division and Khabib beat up Ally Quinta to get the belt. Is that like a middle ground you wanted to agree on, Fred?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I love you, Raider, but no, because he beat Eddie decisively.
Knocked him the fuck out.
Did he maybe jump the division? Yeah, and I suppose there is a valid argument there. But goddamn it, when you knock out the champion, clearly there was something there that merited you getting the fight, right? It's not like we put him in the fight and Eddie Alvarez just stomped him, right, or that it was even fucking close. Like, Eddie didn't even hit Conor. Conor destroyed Eddie. So I know hindsight's 2020, and I see your point, but like, after all, like, clearly Conor deserved that fight. He fucking walked right through Eddie Alvarez. So,
well, look, what was I listening to? This podcast called History on Fire. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's an awesome podcast to listen to. But Daniele Bolelli was talking about how they used to crown new kings back in the day, right? A new guy would come in, slay the king, and now he was the king. And like Fred is saying, Conor, he slayed both kings, and he hasn't been beaten. He's been away. He's kind of been traveling, doing other things, but he hasn't been slayed yet. So I actually, unfortunately, agree with Fred in this point. We can still call Conor the 155 champion because he hasn't been beaten. He hasn't been away from the sport so long that, you know, we forgot about it, and he's still relevant.
And again, I know it seems like I'm a huge Conor nut hugger, but I'm really not. If we're being objective, listen, he went and boxed Floyd Mayweather, guys. It's not like the motherfucker's been doing nothing but hanging out on boats and buying Rolexes. He went and boxed the biggest combat sports fucking star on planet Earth, literally. So, I mean, come the fuck on, guys. I mean, has he taken more time than he should have? Sure enough. But you go make $90 million when you're 27. You probably want to take a fucking 5-month span off to just go blow some of that fucking money. Like, I ain't really mad at Conor, man. I'm really not. No. He took the fight with Floyd. Anybody in their right mind would have.
Hell yeah.
He had a decent showing. He kind of got schooled like an idiot, but at least he didn't make MMA look like we're all a bunch of fucking barnyard idiots. So
he didn't get taken out first fucking round. That would have been worst case right there. If he got knocked out the first round, like god damn it. But he went to the fucking 10th. Was it 10th round?
Yeah, that uppercut was our win.
The one he landed at Floyd was like, oh shit, and then Floyd got offensive.
MMA won with that one. We hit you one time, motherfucker. Like that was good enough for us to walk away from that with a W. So it's not like Conor has just been, it's not like Conor's been turning down fights.
Right.
I think that's the narrative that people get. Like he's just been avoiding. He's not fucking avoiding nothing. He went and made $100 million boxing the greatest boxer that ever lived.
He made that point too. He goes, I don't have to fucking fight anymore. But I love fighting. Yeah,
that was another good point of the press conference. Like, how do you argue with that?
Right. On top of that, I'm sure he loves making money. He's gonna make good fucking money. Jeremiah brings up a point there, Fred. He goes, Fred. You do realize he did beat Eddie, but Conor has one fight at lightweight. Khabib has won 10, 11 fights in the lightweight division.
Has Khabib beat anybody that's on Eddie Alvarez's caliber? One person that's even close to Eddie Alvarez?
RDA.
Yeah.
Okay.
One. Ish.
Yeah. That was also 47 years ago, but fair enough. And Khabib did not get the finish in that fight. Right. Okay, fair enough. He's got some all right wins. I'll give you that. But nonetheless, he still knocked out Eddie Alvarez. Like, and that wasn't something that anybody else. And look, Eddie beat fucking Eddie finished RDA. So there you go, right? And then they math. You're still out, Khabib. Sorry.
Well, look at it this way. The reason that Conor was able to jump the queue was because he was so dominant at 145, slayed a king that had been king for a very long time, had been a dominant champion. So you obviously, if he's willing and wanting to go up in a weight division, just like BJ Penn, DC just recently, cleaned out his division, was dominant, went up to the top at the next weight class. We've seen this before.
I know right now somebody's dying with the DC comparison.
I'm waiting.
God damn it, DC defended his belt 9 times. What the fuck?
I'm waiting.
Yeah, so that person better call John Jones the champion when he comes back. I hope so.
God damn it. No, you don't. No. John cheated.
Yeah.
That takes.
No, he didn't.
He got caught with the fucking steroid bullshit he did. Fuck out of here.
The what is it? The arbitrator said that he did not find that John Jones cheated voluntarily.
You can't even say that with a straight face. I hear you laughing, motherfucker.
Not only did this motherfucker cheat, but then he snitched on everybody.
Yeah, that's the best part.
John Jones has got some stones on him, dog.
That's the best fucking part. Anyone that knows John Jones or lived with him or that has done shit and John knows about, he's like, oh fuck.
Did you guys hear the Malkikawa interview on the MMA Hour? I know Fred probably did.
I haven't yet. I've been meaning to listen to it.
I read about it. I didn't listen to it because I refuse to listen to that shit.
The best quote of the whole interview was Malky goes, all right, like trying to address it. He's like, look, if in a year or two, there's a big drug raid, a big drug bust at Jackson's MMA, that could be related to John Jones or it couldn't. Who knows? But it's John Jones definitely didn't rat on anybody or something along those lines where he was like 1 or 2 years in the future. Like, okay, dude, that's a dumb thing to say.
To keep it a buck, I don't think that John Jones snitched on fighters.
Think you snitched on dealers?
I think John Jones snitched on a supplier.
Okay.
Because quite frankly, if you know anything about hustling, like that ain't really the way snitching works. Right. You don't snitch on people lower than you. Like John Jones is the biggest fighter in the game. Unless he knows something about DC or Conor, it doesn't get you out. Like John Jones don't get to tell on fucking Walt Harris. Yeah, or one of those shitbirds, and like that don't make it okay, bro. But if John Jones can give up a guy that's been fucking pumping steroids through several camps and shit, like, you know what I mean? All these guys get their shit from somewhere, and just like in coke or heroin or anything else, there's probably some big kingpin steroid type characters
has to be
roamage around and these gyms and these cities with big fighters. I mean, there's probably a whole nasty underbelly of all this shit. He probably got busy on a couple of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because also, again, I don't know much about the steroid market, but I would imagine that most of these guys aren't quite like cocaine dealers. I don't know if they've got the clout to have you hurt. So like, if you're just some fucking juice head that's got roids and shit like that, I don't know if these guys are connected to the mob or to the Bloods or Crips or something to where John Jones could just rat one of them fools out and what the fuck you gonna do about it, motherfucker? Like, you know what I mean? You just you and a couple other shitbirds.
Or put your Eddie Bravo hat on, and maybe he paid one of those guys to take a hit, say he was dealing a couple people, and bam, you're set.
Yeah. I mean, that you're definitely putting the fucking tinfoil hat on, but sure, like just pay a guy like, look, motherfucker, you're going to go to jail for 2 or 3 years. I'm going to fucking pay you $1 million, and then I get to go be the king again. Everybody's happy. I'll go do a fucking year or 2 for $1 million. Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. Dude, okay. Well, here comes Jeremiah again.
Oh boy.
He says, I mean, bums or not, it's very hard to win 26 fights in MMA without losing. And the fact that he hasn't lost, he's talking about Khabib, the fact that he hasn't lost a single round in the biggest MMA promotion in the world, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a couple counterpoint. His fighting style lends itself to not losing rounds. Yep. DC hasn't lost a lot of rounds either. If you're an extremely competent round, now not that makes a difference. He still hasn't lost the rounds. I'll give you that. But it's not like he hasn't lost a round as Conor, like as a pinpoint striker, where he's like, you know, playing Russian roulette every time they get in the cage. Like Khabib has a very safe, dominating style. And listen, 26-0 is impressive, but you know, Khabib's probably like 9-0, 12-0. You know what I mean? Like, yo, not to get too far off on a tangent here, because I actually kind of want to talk about this at the end of the show. But did y'all catch the Teddy Atlas?
Yes,
on Joe Rogan. Did you see him talking about Tyson?
Yeah,
saying that basically he was 0-5.
Yeah. He said Atlas said like the 5 actual fights he got into, he lost.
Right. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily Khabib's deal, but I think fights that actually mattered, where Khabib could have possibly lost, we're probably at about 11 or 12-0. I mean, you got to imagine 8 or 9 of those shitbirds in Russia probably didn't have no business being in the cage with Khabib. Now, and I'm not hating on that. We got to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to do that. But let's not, you know, I could probably go hustle up a couple Brazilians right now who are 13, 14-0 that are padded as fuck, because they do that in Brazil too. Like, Brazil and Russia are known to, which is smart. It gets their guys fights. That's smart to do. I'm not hating on it, but like 20-0 in jungle fights or in fucking whatever Russia's fucking, you know, organization isn't quite 20-0 in the UFC.
And they do it in boxing too. They'll put and actually, let's talk about it. Where they'll put like a kid or a guy with like a bunch of fights against like an 0-0 fighter, or a fighter with 2 fights, just to pad up the record. That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works it works in MMA as well. I mean,
and you literally know that's a W for that fighter.
Oh, 100%.
Can we make the comparison to Renan Barão? Remember how Renan Barão was a monster, beating everybody? 10 years? 10 years was it?
Yeah. He hadn't lost in 10 years.
That happens.
Yeah.
Dominant fighter.
Yeah. I think Raiders talking about John Jones here. She goes, like Bisping was saying, some lawyer found a loophole and said, "Oh, we could just say this and get him out of this." And the UFC was like, "Yeah, let's do it." As far as John Jones goes,
for sure. And look,
it's a business move.
Yeah, John Jones is the second biggest moneymaker in the sport, right behind Conor McGregor right now. So, I mean, if you think that the UFC wasn't trying to pull every trick in the book to get him out of this, you're a fool. Like, clearly they was. I mean, again, the rules are not the same for everybody. Right. Brock Lesnar, fucking John Jones, Conor McGregor. These guys get. If Ronda Rousey decided to come back to the UFC tomorrow, they would lay out the red carpet, and it would be Amanda who.
Right.
You know, quickly. It's just the way it goes, man. It's like with everything else in life, money. You know what I mean? Them motherfuckers put asses in seats, so they're willing to bend the rules for them. Maybe even break them motherfuckers in the right circumstance.
Oh, they'll do it. They did it for Brock, right? With the whole testing pool.
Brock will throw Brock like shit. Just let him fight, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it pays money, they'll do it. And we got off a little bit off the UFC 229 presser, but did you? And I saw a lot of the tweets, right? Because I was watching on my laptop and I was following on Twitter. A lot of people were saying, the Conor looks cracked out or coked out or some shit. Like,
well, he was surely drunk as fuck. So
he's drunk as fuck. Yeah,
I don't know if they're like drug experts. I've been around a whole bunch of people that are on coke, and maybe he was, but he didn't strike me as being coked out.
No, he was like he was super like fucking animated.
Drunk maybe, booped up like that. He definitely struck me as he had a little alcohol buzz going for sure, but maybe not coked up. And look, if he was on coke, then he's handling it well. Like if he was on coke, then he has an addiction because he's doing blow, and it ain't like he was fucking snorting. His nose wasn't running, his nose wasn't red. It didn't look like he'd been up on blow for I mean, maybe he did a line, maybe, but like he wasn't fucking coked out.
Yeah, I know. It's just because he was acting like that. Okay. My biggest takeaway from the presser is that I missed the crowd being in there for a Conor presser. I need the crowd to be in there when Conor McGregor says something fucking crazy or funny. The crowd reaction when his fans, as annoying as they are to like debate on Twitter and social media and everything, they're just as fun to watch as Conor McGregor is when he's talking shit. You know what I mean? Like the reactions they do to it, especially when they used to do. I don't do it anymore, but remember when they used to do they only do this for Q&As. You know how they put the microphones for Q&As? It was a while ago where they did one before a Conor fight, and I think Holly Holm went up there and some guy serenaded her. Some like Irish dude serenaded her and shit. And regardless, that crowd's always fucking fun. And Jesse knows. Jesse's been to Vegas for Conor fights. And
it's awesome.
I mean, you love the Irish people. I was missing the crowd. I thought he needed. Even Conor came in going, where the fuck are the fans? Why are we even here? You know what I mean?
They will accept you open arms, even if you're on the opposite side. They will drink next to you. They will cheer. They will scream, and you will have a blast with a bunch of Irish people in a bar. So yeah, like Eddie said, that was just a missing point. Even though a lot of the reporters there were reacting to a lot of the stuff. So
by the way. That slob motherfucker that I guarantee is from New York that showed up in a t-shirt, unbuttoned shirt, and a hat and try to talk all fucking like smug and shit to Khabib and whatnot. Like, you're not a pro. Get the fuck out of here. How'd you get fucking credentials, you sack of shit? Oh my God. I've covered Invicta cards where like you go to Media Row and I go Jesse style almost. I'll fucking button up, fucking tie, fucking some nice slacks, fucking straight up like dress shoes and shit to go cover like Invicta cards and shit. You show up, you sit down, the guy next to you is on fucking like sweatpants and a t-shirt. And he's like, oh, I'm media. Huh, are you, motherfucker? Right? You got guys like that covering one of the biggest fights in UFC history. All right, fucking step your game up, you sloppy pieces of shit. God damn. That bothers me. That's one thing I definitely noticed. And of course, the usual media can't come up with a decent fucking question like ever. Have either one of you tried that Proper 12 shit?
No, not yet, but I've heard it selling like fucking hotcakes.
Right. So on the way home, I do my grocery shopping on Sundays and Saturdays. I went out on Saturday.
Eddie's drunk on Proper 12 right now and shit.
I wish. No, just kidding. No. Here's the thing. So in Arizona, the only people that have is this chain of stores called Total Wine. I don't know if it's everywhere or not. I know it's here. And so I stopped at the one that's like a minute from my house on the way home just to see if they had it. If they had, I was going to pick up the bottle, right? Fucking show up and the guy's like, oh, we had like 15 cases yesterday. And I go, what happened? He goes, Conor McGregor. I'm like, God damn. He goes, yeah, if you want to, he goes, but in our system, it shows that there's still 11 cases left and like fucking 40 miles away. I'm like, no, I don't want it that bad. So I haven't tried it yet. But I forgot what channel it was. There's a channel where these guys are like, they review alcohol. They totally shit on it. Like they totally basically shit on it. Like, well, which kind of bums me out, but I'm not surprised because it costs $26.
Well, also think about it. How fast he got into this business, how fast they came out with it. It's not going to be aged a long time.
Right. So, according to them, it was like a 3 years age. It wasn't like, 12.
Yeah. So it's a light aged. So that means it's going to be just a nice little sipping,
like watered down.
Yeah, it's like it's light. It's not heavy. It's not dark. For all the drinkers that can't drink heavy, it's probably perfect for you guys. I think I was listening to Karen Bryant say that she had some and it was really light, really smooth. It's not harsh. It's not strong. So, it might be up a couple people's alleys.
Okay. Well, look, whenever it shows up at the grocery store that I shop at every weekend, I'll pick up a bottle.
Whenever it shows up at the local Piggly Wiggly, you got my business, Conor.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, by the way, he did a great fucking job promoting that shit. There was like a lull in the questions, and he went off on a fucking commercial. He did a great goddamn job.
Yeah,
sold out fucking everywhere. So, good for you, dude. I'll never hit on Conor's game like that.
All right. But before we wrap this up, just a simple yes or no. Are you more excited for the fight now?
No. Like more excited than I was? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I hate agreeing with you so much, Jess, but yeah, me too. Listen, not by a country mile, but we hadn't heard nothing from them. Right. So getting this, I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing really changed. The Dolly really did it. The who they are. I get your point, Eddie. Nothing really changed. But there's a little more zest there now. There's a little more spice. We hadn't really seen them do nothing. You got to actually see them interact. You got to see the stare down a little bit, the face off. Like, I'm definitely a little more. I like this. I want to see more of it. Like, I feel like the more we do this, the more excited I'll be. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I shouldn't say that. I take that back. Not the more of it, but like maybe like once or twice more, like one or two more of these just to really get us amped up before the weigh-ins. Right. Maybe once more, just to kind of keep it in our minds a little bit.
I think for me it was just it just kind of refreshed the drama from before. You know what I mean? Like you obviously the Dolly incident, and all the shit. I think it was at UFC 205 where he was kind of yelling at Khabib a little bit. Was that? Yeah, he was yelling at Khabib and at Tyron. It just kind of refreshed it for me and kind of give you a reminder, like, oh yeah, these guys really don't like each other. Cool. But it didn't add anything more. I'm excited about the Styles matchup. I'm excited to see will Conor land that left hand before Khabib can take him down, or will Khabib take him down, control him? Can Conor do anything to get the fuck off the mat, or I mean? That excites me way more than the actual drama.
For sure. How interesting would that be, though? Like if Khabib took him down and Conor got right back up on some Chuck Liddell shit. I think stood right back up and I think it'll happen. Away.
I think it happens. I think that first round, if Khabib can just avoid getting knocked out, I think he's going to take Conor down, and Conor's going to pop up a handful of times. It's going to be in that takedown number 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 possible takedowns that are going to be where Khabib actually does his damage, in my opinion.
See,
once Conor's tired.
If that actually is the way this plays out, then I feel like Conor has a lot better of a chance to win this fight than maybe.
I agree.
Because it's like a rebound, right?
Right.
Like if Dennis Rodman can keep letting Michael Jordan shoot, eventually he's going to hit the shot, right? Sure. Like if Conor can keep getting up and getting a little distance and taking a swing, eventually he's going to crack Khabib. Like, you know what I mean? Like Khabib better keep him there. If Conor's able to get right back up like 2 or 3 times and actually get him off of him and reset and take another, like, he might miss 1 or 2 of those, but you don't want to keep doing that with Conor. Eventually he's going to clip you on the temple or the ear or some shit like that, and it's going to wobble you up.
Yeah, and I fully expect Conor to use part of the game plan he used against Nate the second time around. The whole, reset or run reset, whatever you want to call it. We were getting away from Khabib, from Nate, to avoid the pressure. He'll get away from Khabib so he can give himself some range, some room to land those strikes and not have to eat a takedown every fucking 5 seconds.
That being said, Khabib and Nate are completely different animals.
Exactly.
Nate was willing to let Conor do that. Khabib probably will not. Khabib will probably literally sprint after him and dive on him. He will not.
And I love how Conor said that at the presser. He was like, "You're gonna be reaching for legs for your dear life." Like, well, he's a wrestler, so yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of what he does.
What the fuck? Anyway, anything else there, Jesse? Either one of you guys about the presser?
Nope.
That was it, man. It was good. It was good. Maybe a little over the top, but all things considered, it was good.
All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's no UFC this weekend, right? It's next weekend, the UFC 228.
The big one, right?
The big one, yeah. I might even be in San Diego for that one, so I'm gonna have to catch it in a hotel or something. But okay, UFC 230. We're skipping over 229, which I believe 229 Cyborg Nunes, right?
No, 229 is Conor, right?
No, sorry, 229 is Conor. Okay, no, we're not skipping. Never mind. 230 is the one in Madison Square Garden. Right now, it's not headlined by anybody.
Oh,
but
right.
There's 2 stories coming out. We'll start off with the first one about Nate and Dustin. Nate Diaz put out on Twitter. In fact, I should probably just pull up the tweet so I can read it. But it's great fucking just because people are taking it serious. I'm not so much.
I'm excited to bring a new division to the UFC.
I got you. He goes, I'm happy to announce that I'm bringing a new weight division to the UFC. I'll be fighting the main event November 3rd in NYC against Dustin Poirier, for the first ever 165-pound belt super fighter division. I'm happy to be a part of history. And Dustin Poirier goes, yeah, I'll play with that. He goes, he basically repeats the same thing, right? I doubt Nate texted Dustin like, hey man, tweet this shit because I'm about to tweet this shit. I guarantee Dustin did it before. He played up off of what Nate said. So let's start with that point first. What's up?
Is it just me or does anybody else find it strange that Nate ended off the tweet by saying, I'm really proud to be a part of history? Does that sound like something Nate would say?
It's sarcasm.
It feels like trolling or something.
Yeah,
like I don't know whether to believe this or not. And I literally have no idea whether this is real or not. Like it's literally it seems like, look, if the UFC can't find the main event for New York, which it seems like they might not be able to, then this makes a lot of sense, right?
Right.
The UFC has crowned shittier birds than this with belts just to make a main event. So, like, I could totally see them doing this in a pinch. I think it'd be a horrible idea, but like, I could see it. Or fucking Nate's just, just trolling.
Look, that's my point. I think Nate's trolling. I think Nate and Dustin are both trolling, and I think it's genius, right? Okay, if the UFC,
a 65 division, like I guess it does make a lot of sense, but like I like the
idea. I like the idea because then you get good fights between 155 and the 170 guys, where it isn't totally in the 170 in the welterweights, division. Like if Conor versus Nate happens at 165, I like that fight better than at 170. You know what I mean? Meet in the middle. I just like it for that reason. I like the matchups that are possible. I don't really buy that it would help weight cut too much because the guys that cut a shitload to get 170 would be like, I can cut 5 more pounds.
Right.
I can do that. Yeah, it won't help.
All of a sudden, Darren Till's like, well,
all of a sudden, old school Anthony Johnson, like, 5 more pounds.
I did 170. I can make 65. Shit.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not going to help. It's not about the weight cut for me. To me, it's the matchups. So, but I think it's a troll, and it'd be great if it was real. I'm with you. If they can't find a real main event for UFC 230, it's either going to be it'll be that or it'll be interim lightweight belt, which I don't like either. But that's a new formula for Endeavor, which is throw a belt on that shit. So, what do you think, Jesse?
Terrible. If they do their supposed thing that Ariel Helwani tweeted out, that matchup, the matchup that they're in talks to make.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Actually, bring it up. Go ahead.
It's Yoel Romero versus Gustafsson.
Yeah, would it be the interim?
Yeah, interim 205 205, right?
Jesus Christ, I hadn't even heard that. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ariel Helwani, when he tweeted that out, said, it's not done yet, but it's in talks, which is so stupid because that obviously means that they wanted John Jones for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And John Jones isn't going to play that game. He wants to make sure that he's going to get paid and some other assurances, which is what Malky Kawa was talking about during his interview. So obviously that's why John Jones isn't this main event, because they just can't come to terms with him.
Yeah, USADA can't come to my house for at least 6 weeks before the fight. Fuck that.
All due respect to Yoel Romero, he's a loser.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
wow.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean like he's a loser, but I mean like, what the fuck would merit him getting a title shot at 205 when he can't even beat a former welterweight who's now the middleweight king? He can't even handle middleweight.
He got robbed for that title.
He got what?
He got robbed for that title. He got robbed.
He got what?
He got robbed.
Robbed with a plastic fork?
Yeah. No, by a pen and some idiot judges that don't know how to score fights. That's how you
get the fuck out of here. That fight was close enough that there's no goddamn way you could call it a robbery either way.
Whatever. Hey, when you see a champion get knocked down and his head nearly like punched through the canvas and he barely survives, that should be a 10-7 round. 10-7 round. Not a stupid 10-8, not a stupid 10-9. Just whatever.
Okay, yeah. Somebody clearly likes Yoel a bunch here.
He's Latino.
Joey Tremendous immediately goes, "What?" He's laughing his ass out because he went, "What?" I think he's mocking you, Jesse. That's just me.
No, but I just don't look. Does this fight do anything for y'all?
No.
I mean, I don't understand why they're giving Yoel such a high-profile fight at 205. I'm bagging on him a little bit, but real shit, he just lost twice to the champion. It'd be one thing if he beat that dude, but like he lost the hit. Like you know what I mean? Why would you get a title shot at the weight division above? Like, give that shit to Robert Whittaker if we're going to get crazy. Like,
he's not ready.
He's what?
Mm-hmm.
He's not ready. He's still injured.
Yo, he's doing tough literally right now that tough season is playing.
Whittaker's hurt and he's got a matchup already. All right. What is it? What was it? I think Helwani put out a little thing, a list of all the champions that cannot and for what reason. Woodley's hurt. You've got Kelvin Gastelum and Whittaker fighting. What is it? DC. He's waiting for Brock. There's a lot of circumstances that we can't have a great title fight from the champions right now.
Piss on the titles. This is another thing that Endeavor needs to. I mean, I know nobody's listening to our podcast, but somebody needs to wake up and take this note. The titles don't mean fuck all, stupid.
Yeah.
We're not that stupid. We don't actually buy the cards because you put a belt on the line and we think that means something. Exactly. Let me explain something to you. You get John Jones and Alexander Gustafsson back in the cage together, there ain't no gold on the line, but motherfuckers are paying money to see that. I suppose you could give it an interim belt, but nobody cares. Leave all the belts away. That's a rematch that we all want to see. Like, let's address the big ass elephant in the room. Fuck Nate Diaz. Fuck Dustin Poirier. Fuck Yoel Romero. John Bones Jones. That's who the fuck this card needs. Like, I realize that everybody's saying that he's not going to be there, but like, let's just address the elephant in the room. That's who we all thought was going to be headlining this card. Yeah. I'm imagining that's who the UFC wants to headline this card.
They did.
Like that's what we're all looking for. So why and who, like,
here's my thought.
Opponent, like, what's the deal with that? Because clearly that's what we all wanted.
This is a negotiation tactic by Dana White that he's used before. You don't want to fight, Gus? Well, no, I want assurances. I want this money. I want this. Oh, that's okay. We'll get your Romero to fight him. That's cool. You don't want to pay that? That's cool. You can wait till next year. You can use the entire year. You can wait till the early 2019. I might even push it to mid 2019. Why not? All right. Yo, Romero, get your shot.
Do you think that John Jones wouldn't fight Gus? Do you think that would be a thing?
No. Like, I think Jones would take that fight. I think Jones takes that fight. It just like Jesse said, the assurances, the money has to be there. I don't know what assurances he's looking for. Jesse, did he say anything?
I don't believe he said anything specific. I'm trying to remember if he did, but think about it this way. Like Eddie's saying, he's a high profile fighter, guy that's gonna put butts in the seats, guaranteed. You put John Jones's name, just his name on the poster, he's back. Everybody's buying that pay-per-view, correct?
Imagine that promo video on UFC YouTube.
It doesn't even matter who he's on, who's opposite from the cage from him. It's just John Jones is back. But then, like Fred is saying, then you put in Gustafsson 2 rematch. Dude, you're just printing money at that point. So obviously the UFC wanted this to happen. And like Eddie's saying, obviously these are tactics. They're just going back and forth. Hopefully they can figure it out in time that's the fight we get. But if we get that Yoel Romero Gustafsson fight, I am going to be so pissed. I won't even buy that damn pay-per-view. I promise.
That's lame, man. It's just, I mean, look, will Gus and Yoel Romero be fun to watch fight each other? Sure. I'd watch those dudes fight in a bowling parking lot. But like, it doesn't make a lot of sense at all right now for the division, for the sport, for me paying $65 on pay-per-view. Like, it just don't do a lot for me. Now, I know that John Jones cannot fight on this card, or they're saying that he's not going to, or whatever. I seen a rumor or just a name floated earlier that got my pussy really wet. Now, what do you guys think about this? Somebody floated Kane.
That's what I heard.
Said that Kane is healthy and that he's ready to fight. Kane versus John would set up the fucking trilogy with fucking DC in a major way. And I had never even thought about that matchup until I read it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about Kane. He got a little white on the beard, but he does still exist. And he's been gone for long enough that, like, him and John Jones, take my money. Like that, I'm down for that. That fight is almost more intriguing to me than the second Gus fight. Like, Kane and John, because Kane's coming back from such a long layoff, like you would have the other side of that puzzle too. Like, we all like Gus, but Kane's a different animal. And Kane versus John, like, if Kane could actually come back and beat John, holy shit. All of a sudden, Cain Velasquez would be fucking back with a capital B, Jack.
But would Cain Velasquez risk it of coming back, fighting at heavyweight, and being the number one contender, seeing as DC is still the champ up there?
I mean,
I think DC would agree to it if he knows that DC's got one fight left at heavyweight and then it's done.
Right, and if it's
right.
Brock Lesnar, then he can drop that belt, and then Kane can step right back in, and all. And fuck, if Kane gets a W over John Jones, you almost can just let Kane have the belt. Like, he didn't need to beat DC to get it, Jack. He beat John, and by transfer, you know what I mean? Like that, we can all kind of, like, you say you got to beat the man to be the man. In this case, you beat John, and we'll go ahead and you can keep the heavyweight belt, Kane, and we'll roll with that.
Exactly. All right. Anything else on this one?
Just real quick. What would make you pull out those $65 from your wallet? Gus and Yoel Romero for an interim title, or promoting Diaz and Poirier to the main event, giving them a title? 165 doesn't really matter, but just making that a 5-round fight.
Okay, wait a minute.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Well, no, wait a minute.
You know exactly what I'll say.
If we still get to keep the Diaz Poirier fight as the co-main event, right?
Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, so in one scenario, we got Diaz Poirier 3-round co-main, and you got Gus and what's his name, Romero as the headliner, or you don't get the Romero fight and you just promote Diaz and Poirier to the main event, 5-round belt, no belt, doesn't matter, just they are the main event, 5 rounds.
Give me the Yoel and Alexander fight. I don't love it, but I don't love the idea of a 165-pound belt either. And look, we still get to see that fight. We go see the fight for sure. 3 rounds is better than nothing. We don't need that belt. And then, I mean, I don't really want to see fucking. It's just Romero that bothers me. I want to see Gus fight, but like, not Romero, man. What the fuck? That just don't make no sense. I would rather see him fight Luke Rockhold.
But
Yoel Romero, like, it seems so strange. Like, I'm not into that fight, and I'm sure it'll be fun. It doesn't sound boring. It just seems weird. Yoel's so short and shit. It just seems like a very odd. Like, I can't imagine that matchup. I don't particularly want to see that. Like, they're both so good individually. I could think of a million different fun fights to pair them into without putting them with each other and ruining it. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't feel good.
Before you get your answer, Eddie, I will just say my answer would be I'd rather promote Diaz Poirier to a 5-round fight main event. And I will tell you this, Fred, at the end of that co-main event, when it goes 3 rounds and you have a banger of a fight, you're going to say, I wish I had 2 more rounds. Eddie?
Or Nate catches him with a shot in the liver in the second round. Dustin folds like an old lawn chair, and Diaz boys return, and we wouldn't have needed that fourth and fifth round anyways. And now we just get to watch two dudes beat the fuck out of each other.
Give me 5 rounds of Diaz Poirier, belt to no belt. I just like to see those two guys fight. Honestly,
you know what? That almost changed it. I just don't like the idea of the belt. I agree with you. I would like 2 more rounds because it probably will go to 3, and the fourth or fifth round probably would end up being the most entertaining parts of that fight. And I don't want to see that fight. So fair enough. I guess I kind of agree with you guys. I don't want the belt, man. Give them 5 rounds. Make them don't need the belt. Exactly. Goddamn, you're right, Eddie. This idea that these dumb fucks think that they're just going to put a belt on everything and that makes it better. It does not. Like, just let them fight. They're going to fight for 5 rounds. Like, real talk. How many more people buy that event because there's an interim belt on the line or there's a new belt on the line? Like, how many people were not going to buy it for the fight that it was, but because it's now for a 165-pound belt, now they're going to buy it? I just don't imagine those numbers are very big.
There's got to be a metric that they know where it trends better or something. So, I mean, there's got to be a reason for it.
Are people that stupid?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question.
Okay.
They really are dumbasses, man. Because, like, I guess you're right, Jesus. They wouldn't keep doing it for no reason. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. Clearly, them putting the belt on the line does garner some extra buys from some dumbasses out there. I guess it seems absurd, but you're right. It must be true, or they wouldn't keep doing it.
Okay, now I'm pretty sure the last main event on a UFC card, the pay-per-view card, that wasn't for the title, I want to say it was that Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar fight, but that was because John Jones tested positive. Otherwise, I would have had a title for the main event, right?
No, I thought Nunes and...
You're right. My bad. You're right. Okay. So it was okay. So the last one that I can remember, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, UFC 183, Nick Diaz against Anderson Silva. I was hyped as fuck for that. I didn't need any belt. I want to see those two guys fucking fight. It's the same thing here. I just want to see those two guys fight 5 rounds. Give them a fight.
We're almost to the point to where we barely need belts. We know who the number one guy is. Exactly. Like, I mean, if you follow the sport enough, like you said, like you don't really. We know who the guys are, and then we know who the legends are that would make fun fights. Again, John Jones doesn't technically have a belt right now. You put him versus Cain Velasquez, 2 dudes that don't got belts, and they probably sell more than any champion in the sport right now, outside of Conor and maybe DC versus Brock, and they don't got belts. So it's fighter driven, not champion driven.
Oh, Jesse, what are you in a haunted house? You hear that?
My bad. It's a motorcycle. Sorry.
That sounds like like a fucking old school Halloween sound effect for real. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway,
coming down the background.
Yeah. Cain Jones would be the shit. I'm totally down with that. But if
I love the idea of that fight, or Gus too. Like, just get John in there versus somebody.
Get John in there. And I feel somehow, some way they're gonna work it out because Dana doesn't want to put a card in MSG that doesn't do ridiculous numbers. So,
if not, they'll figure something out. And then I still think John's funny ass returns for the end of the year card. I don't buy that he returns sometime late next year.
Yeah, why would you wait?
If he don't do the New York card, then we get him at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would wait till next year to put on John Jones. I just don't get it.
They can't afford it anyways. They need the money. So.
Oh fuck yeah, they do. Shit. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out of here? We're getting to the time limit here.
Just that if you're in California and you can make it to Long Beach,
that's right.
Tomorrow they have Combate Americas has their weigh-ins, but you can also stream them. I think it's on Facebook on their Facebook account, Combate Americas Facebook. But yeah, check it out. Like I mentioned last week, they're gonna have two fights that are gonna be 1-round fights as qualifiers for the Copa Combate happening later on this year, where the guy ends up winning $100,000. Number one contender basically for the title that just was fought for and won at their last event. So definitely check it out. And then the event is happening on Friday, again in Long Beach at the Walter Pyramid. So go check it out. I believe there's still tickets available. Yeah, go support those guys. Those guys are awesome. And if you go, I might be there. So, look for the best dressed guy out there. Trust me, I will be.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding.
Look for the fat Mexican in a suit.
Damn right.
Okay. He dropped a few pounds, man. Give him some credit.
Eddie. Jesus could come out looking like goddamn it Rico Suave, and I'm still gonna bust his balls. You know what I'm saying? If all of a sudden he gets on there and turns into Enrique Iglesias, he's still getting the fucking the treatment from me. Fuck that.
Of course.
I gotta have the list talk too, right? Just to really smooth. Real quick, I know I haven't had a question of the week. I want to hit you guys with this question because it's been bothering me, and I have my answer. I've had a lot more time to think about it. Okay. What is the one movie or movies that people talk about, say they're the greatest, they're the best movies ever that you've seen?
So go ahead.
Oh, I'll go first. Scarface. I haven't seen Scarface.
So a movie that everybody talks about that you haven't seen.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. I thought maybe a movie that was overrated.
Yeah. So Scarface?
Yeah, I haven't seen Scarface.
Okay.
None of it?
None of it. At Splat 1983, please at me. I know I'm a terrible movie fan. I know.
No, okay, but yeah, like it's easy to mock you for that, Jesus. But let's give you the benefit of the doubt here. Why have you never seen it? You just never got around to it, or? No, I mean seriously. Like everybody's seen it at one point. Like you've never started it, or never watched a part of it, or like nothing.
I've seen the clips that everybody shows, like him talking about his little friend. Mm-hmm. Basically, that like all the clips that they have of that last shootout, whatever. Yeah. But that's about it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, fair enough. I've actually got a really good one for this, and I've been meaning. Everybody and their mama has told me to watch this movie for a month of Sundays. I know it's going to be a good movie. I just have never watched it. The Wolf on Wall Street.
Oh,
I know. I get it. I mean, I know it's. Everybody whose opinion in movies I trust has said that it's a great movie. So it's like, I don't know why I haven't watched it. I know I'm going to like it. I'm sure it's a good movie. Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor. Just for whatever reason, I haven't. Like nobody's forced my hand to make me watch that fucking movie yet. Sure, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for Fred. I almost want to just drive over there and just bring my copy and have him sit down and watch it.
Here's the thing: I haven't seen it either. So.
Oh my god,
that's Eddie's too. Shit.
I just don't care like about that movie. I just never thought about I need to go see that shit. I'm trying to find the name of the one that I can see.
Tell me.
It's motherfucker. Shit. Hold up. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
None of those words help me.
Sorry, dude. Hold up. I had it on the Google search right now.
Trust me, I'm very savantish if you give me a couple hints.
Okay. Leo DiCaprio. It's a fucking mindfuck movie. All these videos.
Shutter Island.
No. I've seen that one. That's a good movie. My opinion. I thought it was pretty good. The other one where he like dives into people's heads. That's all I know about it. Inception.
Oh, Inception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never saw that shit. Never saw it. Never cared.
I haven't saw that one either, but I've heard it was really good too.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. People were like, "You haven't seen Inception, bro?" Because all the fucking the side jokes and have like, "Oh shit, Inception, bro," and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I also have a copy of that I will probably have to drop off on my way to Fred Kirby to go give you this.
If it's on Netflix, I'll give it a shot.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. What you need to do is go motherfucking watch Scarface. You don't need nothing. Just sit right where you're at and go watch Scarface like the rest of the planet.
Here's the worst part. Everybody goes, "You've never seen Scarface?" I'm like, "No, I saw Carlito's Way." That's usually my response.
Oh no.
I've seen Carlito's Way too. And it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not Scarface.
Actually, to be honest with you, Scarface as a movie is slightly overrated. Like, I think Al Pacino plays a really good character in that movie. Like Tony Montana was a fucking badass character, but the movie itself, the plot, wasn't exactly great. Like if I'm being honest, like it wasn't, it's no fucking Goodfellas. What the fuck? Like the story,
Right.
the whole plot. Like really, name one other actor in that movie. You know what I mean? Like name another plot line, and then like it was all about Tony Montana, Al Pacino, Scarface, like him being this, like that part of it was cool. But anybody else, like any of the other scenes in the movie were okay.
All right.
Well, then I guess that convinces me not to watch it.
Listen, I'm just saying. But for an iconic character, though, it's very Tony Soprano-esque. Like Tony Montana is you can't, you know what I mean? Like Scarface is. His character is worth the movie watching for sure.
Trust me, every time back in the day when I would see MTV Cribs, every rapper would have a copy of said film or at least a poster or a picture of the movie. So yeah, I'm definitely behind the ball there.
All right, last second headlines here to end the show. Mark Hunt versus Justin Willis added to UFC Adelaide. Is that how you say it? Adelaide. So Mark Hunt's last fight, more than likely. That's Australia, right?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. More than likely his last fight.
He's getting on there. It's his last fight, so that makes a ton of sense. He's probably taking anybody they'll give him.
Oh yeah. Carlos Conor versus Michael Chiesa is targeted for UFC 232. Big fuck that shit. Mike Chiesa is gonna truck him the fuck out. Write it down, take the bet. I don't give a fuck.
Really,
dude? Carlos Conor is getting choked out.
Wow.
You ever seen Carlos Condit get taken down? He's going, and he's down. Everybody takes him down.
Yeah, but his jiu-jitsu's good, though. Nobody submitted him except for Damien. I mean, I'm not trying to make jokes. Like,
no, I'm with you. No, but it's not
nice, right?
It's okay, dude. This is my opinion from watching this fight. It's okay.
Yeah, that's one of the fights we'll see. I thought
he's a tough guy. He's not.
Fuck the Maverick. I'm riding with Carlos on this one. We ain't scared of the Maverick. We're all right with that.
Let's go. All right. UFC heavyweight Mark Godbeer announces his retirement. What else we got here?
Coolest name ever. Give him that.
Right? Yeah.
Godbeard. Good Lord.
Shit,
name.
Oh, damn it. We almost forgot about talking about fat ass Johnny Hendricks fighting bare knuckle fighting.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well, so listen.
Keep it short, Jesse.
Yeah. Just your opinion on him fighting Brennan Ward, bare knuckle fighting. What quick 2-second opinion, Fred?
My, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, have we seen a more a least fucking graceful fall from grace? Like, dude, this is the same guy that technically arguably beat GSP like 5 years ago. I mean, 5 years ago, but Jesus
before you saw it.
That dude fell completely off the other side of the cliff. I mean, bare knuckle fighting? Good Lord Almighty. Have some respect, Johnny. At least go to fucking the PFL or some shit. Like, holy shit. Bare knuckle fighting? What the fuck?
And then for me, does he have to make weight or he just shows up?
He has to make weight, unfortunately.
What's the weight?
I'm not sure. It might be 170.
Oh, there's my fucking!
No. There's no way. There's no way.
I'll give him this. He's an outside chance of making that if there's no drug testing.
I bet my left nut. It's 180.
Oh,
don't do that. God. Don't do that.
You already owe somebody your left, don't you?
All right, guys.
Hair. He owes hair.
Anyway, I fucking strongly, highly doubt that motherfucker took a fight at 170 anywhere on planet Earth.
God, if it's anything under like 215, that dude's not making shit.
I think it's got to be 85 or 80.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 170. If you want to look it up real quick, I'm almost positive it is because one of the whole things about his interview was him talking about him making the weight. So I'm pretty sure it's 170.
What a moron.
Dude, if he tries to make 170, man, oh my fucking shit. No, hold up.
I'm telling you, I think it is.
Hold up.
I'm almost.
He's 35 years old. What the fuck? Nothing on here. What the fuck, ESPN? How do you not have the weight they're gonna fight at? I don't know, but they call them a welterweight. So,
well,
I'm telling you.
170, but I cannot imagine that fucker's fighting at 170. And if he is, he's just about the stupidest fuck in the world. I mean, fuck, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. I'm almost pretty sure that that's what it's at.
Okay. Well, hey, fuck it.
Yeah. Listen, fucking good luck, Johnny Hendricks. Good luck to you, buddy. I mean, you probably got more money in your bank account than me, so I can fuck off. But
yeah, well, I don't know. He probably lost it all on a fucking
listen,
what do they call
that barbecue joint?
That's my fucking point. He's probably still doing better than me, so I could probably pipe down. But nonetheless, Jesus Christ, dude, you probably could have got on with Bellator or something. Like, okay, all joking aside, to wrap this show up and with a final thought on Johnny Hendricks doing bare knuckle boxing, I think he's done with his career as an MMA fighter.
Sure, of course.
Right. Like, I don't think we're going to see Johnny Hendricks try to get into Bellator or back to the UFC. Like, I feel like he's probably trying to get a couple big money grabs right here at the end, few $100,000 or something, take a couple fights, and then Johnny's definitely on his way out of the sport at this point, I would assume.
Yeah, no, look, he's not gonna take this fight somehow doing thinking, oh man, if I impress in this one, they'll bring me back to the UFC.
Right. I don't imagine that's the goal with this whole endeavor.
He just wants to get some money, man. Just wants to get some money.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to everyone in the comment section here. Given surname was here. Joey Tremendous, Heidi Loomis, Raider, of course, Jeremiah from the Hardcore MMA show. Frederick showed up at the end. Oh, he's asking questions. Oh, I didn't even see his comments because so he said that. All right, start the show over. Is the Diaz or Poirier fight a title fight or not? Not right now, but they're trying to make it. Then he says Condit via flying knee. Nope, taken down and choked out.
Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck? I've seen one of those. Jeremiah says I've seen one of those trash MMA sites that the UFC is looking to push DC aside to make John versus Brock.
Ooh,
that'd be insane.
Ooh, that would be juicy.
But only if DC gets hurt. Only if DC has fought that fight.
That would be fucked up, though. Like, John's a big enough draw. You don't need to rub those stars together, I feel like. You could take John elsewhere and Brock elsewhere. Like, you don't need that. That would be kind of fucked up for DC. I would be.
The only way I see it happening is if somehow DC gets hurt. And in that case, I'd be like, hey, Kane, are you healthy? Come on over.
Right. But if DC gets hurt, make no mistake about it. They'll plug that motherfucker in a New York minute.
Yeah, being there. All right. That's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow Kirby at Kirby_MMA. You can follow Jesse at Spawat1983. Give him all the shit for not watching Scarface. And you can follow me at Elo31. And, of course, the podcast is over at Keyboard MMA. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, all this other shit. YouTube, of course. Shout out to RepTheWarriors.com, so this fire hat is from, and SpicersPros.com. All right. For myself, Fred Kirby, Jesse Wakaba, we love you guys. Fuck the haters. Yeah, y'all can suck a dick. I don't give a shit. And but you guys are ride with us. You guys are the shit. That's why we do it. So appreciate you guys. Have a good night and good night, Wilshire.